Welcome back to our cottage series. If you're new, my husband and I recently relocated with our little kitty Izzy to America so that we could help our parents in their homes. We started this series by doing an extreme declutter of my in-laws' house. If you want to catch up on any of those episodes, you can head over to the main page and scroll down till you see the Making Over a 100-Year-Old Home playlist. Today we're finally starting in the kitchen. We're going to continue that cottage theme throughout this house, and I cannot wait to start painting over that iconic 90s red wall that you're probably familiar with if you grew up in the South. If you missed doing the mudroom, which is the other end of the kitchen, you can watch it in this episode above. We're not going to be doing anything too crazy in this makeover. This will hopefully be an inspiring work with what you have kind of makeover. And this is a little deceiving. This isn't a pantry. This is actually where the water heater is. We started in the kitchen by doing an extreme declutter. We covered this in the first episode of this series, which I will link above for you, and it'll also be in the description box. We painted this kitchen the same day that we painted the living room. Unfortunately, I didn't get us covering the entire red wall because there were a lot of people on the painting this day, but this is very satisfying to finally cover over this wall. We are going in with that same perfect grayish that we have been carrying throughout the entire house, and this theme is recurring in both my parents' makeovers and in my mother-in-law's. I think this is something to remember as our parents get older and they think about selling their house in the future. It just kind of makes it more appealing to buyers. We spent a bulk of the budget while we made over that laundry room, turned it into a second bathroom for them, and then the remainder of our budget was really spent on updating the appliances. Again, this isn't going to be an extreme kitchen makeover. We're really going to make the most of what we already have, but it was really important for me to create more counter space for them, and getting this microwave off the counter was the top priority. She had been wanting to put one over the stove, and this was the time to go ahead and do that. But with all of the requirements that she had, the only color options for us were either stainless steel or black. But getting this is going to create so much countertop space for them.
Well, I think you need to do the honor.
No,
You do.
You're the space maker.
The one thing that she didn't want, though, was for the stainless steel and the white to be mix matched together. And because she said, this is the last time in my life I'm ever going to appliances, I'm going to get what I want, she decided to update all of the appliances in the kitchen at the same time because they are all very old, especially whenever you see the refrigerator. But that means that this cabinet above it is going to have to go. So we're trying, we've never really taken off molding before. That's why we look a little bit like we don't know what we're doing, because we don't. Another thing I really wanted to do was update this kitchen island. I don't like that you can see under it, especially in a small kitchen with a lot of things going on. She was able to find something on Facebook Marketplace. It's going to take us 2 loads to get it because it's so big, but this piece is going to create so much space for us because we can get out all of her pots and pans and baking items. They're going to go get the second piece of this kitchen island while I go ahead and just transfer everything over for her. It might not be perfect, but what I found in working with my parents is that there's often a high chance that the projects will never get done unless I do them right then and there. So that's why I wanted to tackle this while they were gone. And Ziggy is here to let us know that the appliances have finally arrived. Don't be deceived, this was many months later, but we got the front door off so that we could get the new appliances. This boob light is something we really wanted to go. We needed something brighter in the space. Once we got up there, we realized that the electrical wiring was not done properly, and it was going to take an electrician to come out and to fix everything, which was about the same time that you guys saw us making over the entryway, and it was all done in total darkness. Took a week for the electrician to come out and fix this, so we'll update that later. For the kitchen cabinets, she really wanted to update the knobs, so we decided to kind of continue that cottage theme by doing like a darker antique bronze knob, and these were really affordably priced on Amazon. I love updating the knobs because it's such an inexpensive way to give your cabinets a little mini makeover. Another part of creating space for me was to do something with all of their drinks, which I'll show you in a second. Whenever I was doing the bathroom makeover, we had this piece that really made it hard to open and close the doors. It just wasn't practical for the space. So I reorganized the bathroom so that we didn't need it anymore. And I'm going to try and reuse this in the kitchen. I feel like it might fit perfectly next to the refrigerator. It might not be the most perfect piece, but we didn't have to buy anything else. And that is very important when you're working on a budget. So they have all of these bottles that is taking up so much space in their limited storage cabinets. So I wanted to move all of the drinks to one location. There were drinks spread out around the kitchen, and I wanted to put them all in the same space so that everybody knows where they are, and so that you don't end up overbuying because you forget that you have it because the rest of your drinks are in some random location. Necessarily what you want to see whenever you walk in the door, but it's so functional for them. We didn't have to buy anything new. I mean, it fits soda so perfectly, and we have our wine corner. Okay, and I know this is going to seem very out of order, but the realities of working with people and working especially with your family is that you really have to work around everybody's schedule. And sometimes things aren't going to go as straightforward as you think. It was easier for us to paint the walls and to come back months later and paint the ceiling. It took a while for me to convince my mother-in-law to let me paint the ceiling. And finally I was like, I'm just gonna do it by myself. And this time Jackson was like, I'm done helping you paint. You tricked me into this enough. But this was a non-negotiable for me because look at the color difference here. She had painted the ceilings more recently and didn't think they needed to be updated. I knew just how much having a crisp white ceiling can change the entire look of a space, especially whenever you see the two colors next to each other. You can just see. You'll notice here that the electrician did come out and finally updated the lights here as well as in the mudroom. And speaking of the mudroom, while I was painting the kitchen ceiling, I was also able to paint the ceiling in the mudroom. But I'm going to give you a full updated tour of our cottage makeover series in next week's final episode on Sunday. One thing I wasn't here for was the installing of the new sink. Hers was broken and they were in desperate need of something new. So we have this giant, beautiful sink that we will see at the end of the video. We've got the basics done. Now it's time to start decorating. We're gonna try and reuse some of the items in my house. The first thing I'm gonna take is this bowl. This is a vintage bowl from Jackson's grandma. We have been using them here around our house. We also have a really big one, but I thought this would be perfect for her kitchen. The most beautiful, imperfect bowl. I love it. Perfect for like fruit and veggies, or these are some vases that I found at Goodwill a while back. You guys saw me put this in my hallway. This is that rug by Chris Loves Julia. It's their Leloy collection. I love this runner. It's absolutely amazing. It's a 12-foot by 3-foot runner, but I think it would just fit her house so perfectly if we can make it work in the kitchen. This rug is really well done. I will link this rug, if it's still available, down below. Hey, you're in the way. Beep, beep, beep.
Not sure if this will work, but we'll hope. Okay, I'm gonna put the camera down so I can get this organized. And then I am taking things that we borrowed from them this year. I'm slowly starting to return all those things. So we are ready to go. I think the really long runner that was in my hallway is perfect in here because whenever you walk in the door, if you have wet rain boots on, you can basically just carpet hop the whole way until you get to the shoe tray drop. I like how eclectic it is. It's crazier than my style, but I think it just works really perfectly for her. All of these different patterns, especially with the neutral walls. I don't know, I think it works really well.
Now we'll see how that goes. I did ask her if she wants these put up, but she said she really wants them on the counter displayed, even if they collect clutter. Actually, she promised that they will not collect clutter, so we'll see if she holds up to that, but she really wants them here. She knows what she wants, so.
Okay, we brought the door out here. This is a pantry door. I could do this. It's not actually a pantry door, it's like covering a big water heater, and she's always thought this was an eyesore and she really wanted it to just blend in. So she would prefer that instead of painting it white, which is what the color is right now, she wants it to be the same color as the baseboards and really neutralize everything. So we are going to be painting again with the Perfect Beige, but this time we're going to use the satin coat, and we're going to bust out the sprayer. This is my second time using this, but we think this will just provide better coverage for it because it's just slatted door. So let's see. What? Good shake. That's good. You trust me? The directions I read said to just do a really thin coat on the top, the first coat, and then go back and do heavier. So that's what I'm trying to do, but oh my gosh, that is a workout. Okay, I just did a third coat because we got up close after it dried and there were some, you know, missing patches. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it's kind of bubbly. It's really hard to see, but that really does end up settling after everything dries. I actually really like spraying. I don't know why it was so much easier to use it this time than when we did the beadboard. This time it just worked so well and saved us so much time, and we were able to get into all of those grooves, so minus the back problems, that was awesome. Look how good it looks. You really don't notice it. It does add some texture, which is so nice and really helpful whenever you're doing this like monochromatic look. Which is essentially the same as the beadboard, but look at how good. Oh my gosh. Oh, I love it. Let's talk about the cabinets. I really, really wanted to paint the cabinets. Envision with me like a dark, kind of like a navy color, or even like a lighter blue, a light green. We could have really leaned into like something sagey like this. We did update the knobs, which you guys saw earlier, and I feel like that really helped give them a little bit of a facelift, if you will. And this is my mother-in-law's words, not mine. And I want to take a poll on this because I just think it's interesting. She said, young people like the cabinets painted. Old people like the wood, and she really did, especially after we changed the knob. She decided that she loved the cabinets like this and she wanted to keep them. Do you think they would have been better painted or just left as is? Let me know down below. My vote is for painting. I'm gonna always envision this kitchen painted navy blue cabinets. So I want to quickly show you this. This is the molding for the cabinets. It's too long, and rather than, we have no experience cutting this, rather than doing this ourselves, her neighbor is an expert at doing this. He's just on vacation for that. Something that we're going to see if he can cut for us, because we just need to, at the other end, we need to shorten it. So we're not going to have this on in the video, but no, we're going to get it done properly whenever he returns.
Yeah, I think that's a good spot. You want me to hold it while you...
Didn't we take this down from somewhere else in the house?
There's one in the bathroom.
I think she has a bunch of these little pocket ones.
We're gonna add green, but we did just go to the lavender shop. It is the Lavender Festival weekend here in Oregon and in Washington. And the lavender is just, it smells so good. We just got some little treats, and I'm not sure where she's going to put the lavender, but she wanted some fresh lavender for the house.
The green will show.
Okay, you want to add that to your pocket? Pretty.
I wanted to quickly shout out this little lavender shop because I go here often to pick up the best items, and this is just a local shop here in Oregon. This woman makes all of these products by herself. They're absolutely amazing. This hydrosol spray is the best thing I've ever smelled. It doesn't smell perfumey. It's pure lavender. She makes this herself. I have a bottle next to my bed. I spray my pillows every night. It's absolutely a dream. She makes the bath bombs and the most beautiful soaps. I will link her store down below. You can order online. You're not buying from like a big vendor. You're buying from somebody locally, so it really is going to a good cause. Before I show you the final look of the makeover, we wanted to update her old stainless steel pots and pans. It was time for them to go, and she had been researching a lot about Caraway. She loved that they were non-toxic, and though they are quite the investment, they're much better for your health. We got these for her in the sage color, which is going to look so good with all of her jadeite. And a thank you to Caraway for sponsoring today's video. This is the Hero set. So the Hero set is going to come with 4 different pans. You have the saute pan, the Dutch oven, the sauce pan, and then you have a fry pan. The lids are going to come in a hanging organizer for you that you can put inside your cabin or outside, which is how we chose to hang it. Oh my God, the way this looks with the rug, I'm so excited to get these in her kitchen. Not only are the Caraway pots and pans beautiful, but they're safer than the alternative. This was my pan. I didn't buy this too long ago, and you can see how it's already scratched, and this is just not something that you want to be cooking in your food. If you ever research non-toxic cookware, Caraway comes up repeatedly. They always have such great reviews, and they have so many colors, which is one of, the second most important thing. When you're cooking with the Caraway pans, they just feel like luxurious pans. They're so nice. Jackson is obsessed with these. I will say that they are quite heavy, so if that's something that you're really sensitive to, I would just be cautious about that. But they do come with the hanging organizers, and then they have countertop organizers. I'll show you in a clip, but they have these magnetic dividers, so you can either store those underneath or on top, depending on what your kitchen allows you to do. I'm not sure long-term where she's going to store them. I'll let that be up to her. Right now we just put them next to the stove because it was really pretty, and whenever you first get them, you just want to enjoy them. They're so beautiful, and they go with the jadeite, so we left them up here, but later she might want to store them in the island under here. And I have a discount code for you guys, which is amazing because these are quite the investment. This code is only temporary. It's going to last 2 weeks from this video, so if you want to try anything from Caraway, use this link within the next 2 weeks to get an additional 10% off your purchase. Even if you're like, hey, I've been wanting to try just one pan to see if I like it, this is the time to do it before this code disappears. All that stuff was going to be linked in the description box for you. And now let's get into the long-awaited final looks of the kitchen makeover, and I will see you next week for the final tour of our cottage series. Thanks for watching.